how to build confidence and overcome imposter syndrome, getting started as a real estate agent. So if you're new to the real estate business, or even if you're a few years in, still trying to get your business off the ground, this one's for you specifically, because I'm going to share what you can do to build confidence and get past this thing that far too many of us go through and deal with, especially as we're trying to build something new and meaningful in our lives, which is imposter syndrome. So I want to start with speaking to confidence. And real quick, if you're new to the channel, my name's Tyler Roicki. I run a real estate sales organization called The Herd that spans over 200 agents in over 30 states, 3 countries. I've helped well over 100 people get started in the real estate business, and dozens of which have earned their first 6 figures, and quite a few at this point that are earning multiple 6 figures a year selling real estate, who I've been working with literally since day one. So these insights I'm sharing aren't theory. It's what I know to work in my experience selling real estate and coaching and teaching and training others on how to do it as well. So one of the most important things you can start with is you want to make sure you're getting your confidence from the right place, because most people, if this is something you're struggling with, you're probably not getting your confidence from the right place. So question is, where does your confidence come from? Does it come from your experience? Because if you don't have a lot of experience and that's where you're deriving your confidence from, reality is your lack of experience is probably a big part of why you're not confident, and your lack of confidence is translating into your lack of results. So I want you to stop looking at your experience and deriving your confidence from that. Instead, what you're going to want to do is start to derive your confidence from your intent. And what I mean by that is legitimately, do you intend to help and serve people, or do you intend to hurt and harm people? Or maybe just another way to think of that is like, are you really here just to get a paycheck or just to make some money? Or is there a bigger purpose as to why it is you're actually in the real estate business? If there's a bigger purpose, I want you to lean into what that bigger purpose is and start to gain a lot more confidence for knowing without a shadow of a doubt that you are here in this business to help people, to serve people, and to help people get into a better position in their life, to build equity in a home, and to have something that they ultimately are building that ownership stake in, or whoever it is you're here to serve. I want you to lean into that above and beyond your experience, because your experience, you're not going to get confidence from experience you don't have, but you can get a lot of confidence in knowing that within your heart, you're here to help and serve and to bring value to the people you have that opportunity to do. So that's the first thing. The next thing is, it's going to help if you can lean into something bigger than yourself that you're a part of. So ideally, you're a part of a group or a team or a brokerage, or better yet, some combination of a couple of those things that brings a lot of the experience and track record that you don't yet have to the table. Because if you are truly a part of that, then you can position yourself as, hey, my team and I, my brokerage and team is like usually a lot more tight knit, but if you're a part of a team that does a lot of production, you and your team do a lot of production, you're an extension of that. The team didn't bring you on for no reason. If you're actually tapping into the added value and resources they bring to teach you how to do what they do the way they do it, and their systems and their methods, then you should be bringing a similar kind of experience to the table when you have the opportunity to work with someone. So lean into that. Too many agents, they act like they're on an island and they talk with people as if they are, and they wonder, why they don't end up locking in any clients. Well, it's a lot stronger if you can truthfully tell people and demonstrate that you're a part of something bigger than yourself, and that you and your team, the team you're a part of, or even if you don't have that, the brokerage, what are you doing that's different in the industry, and positioning yourself as a part of that bigger thing and movement that's happening, and the value that brings to the table for that person. So for instance, when someone's working with me within the Herd, so the group of agents I run sold 933 houses last last year. So I give my agents who are partners of mine permission, even if they're new to the business, hey, you're a part of a group of agents. You're a part of a real estate sales organization that sold 933 homes and $275 million of production last year. So guess what? You can convey that you and your group sold over 900 houses this past year. And that's truthful. And it's expected that if someone I'm working with does that they're actually fully tapped into our systems, our resources, and that when they need help, they're asking for help so that they know how to navigate it the same kind of way that we do. Because if they do that, if they take a listing to market, it's going to look similar to if one of our top agents brought it to market, if they're following the same steps and systems. So you want to leverage that and put it to your advantage. And that should also help you have a lot of confidence if you're a part of something where you have the help you need when you need it. If you've never done something, you have someone able to guide you through every step along the way, and you have a proven system that's led to a track record of success for others. As long as you tap into that and put your best foot forward, you should find that it's helping you produce results as well. So you should have a lot of confidence in that if you're a part of the right community. And the third thing is you want to know your market. And if you don't know your market, if you've been in the business any amount of time, this should have been something you did a long time ago. If you're just getting started, you've got to dive into what's happening in your market locally. So when your local association of realtors posts the monthly market report, I want you to know what the supply and demand in your market is like the back of your hand. What is going on with inventory? Is it up or down? Are pending sales up or down? Closed? Like what's going on with, like, is the inventory moving or is the supply going up? And then you want to know what's going on a broader economic level. What's going on with rates? What's going on with jobs? Pay attention to, the broader economics of what's happening across the country and know kind of how that's playing into what's going on in your local market. Are people coming to your local market or are they moving away from it? And if so, why? What's driving that? And you want to know how things are trending and, even at different points throughout the year, seasonally, how the market's responding. That way it's going to factor into not just how you help people negotiate deals at different points in time, but also it's going to play into your ability to speak confidently to people who are planning and preparing for their next move, especially if you know when they bought and you can kind of look at that and compare, where the market is now compared to the point in time they bought, because it might be up, it might be down, and you want to understand enough about what's going on in the market to where you can confidently communicate that and correctly guide people at every step along the way. But point is, the more you know your market, the more confidence you're going to have when you're having real estate conversations with people, because you're actually going to know what the heck you're talking about. And ultimately, there is no replacement for this last part, which is you've got to have conversations with people. You've got to have at least 10 conversations a day. If you're serious about building a pipeline of business, you've got to be having at least 10 conversations a day with people in your local market area about real estate. I'm not saying make 10 calls a day. I'm saying make 10 conversations. How many calls you have to make that happen? If you're calling a cold list, you probably have to call over 100 people to get 10 conversations. But that's what it takes, and that's the brutally honest truth. If you were expecting less, it's probably going to take a lot more than you were thinking to build something significant. But the good news is you do have the opportunity to build something significant if you're willing to take these steps. And the quicker you can have these conversations, the more confidence you're going to build sooner. So the more you delay the process, the less confident you're going to be, and the longer it's going to take if you ever even get there. And also, just something that so many people miss is they know what they need to do and they sit on it. They don't do it. That in and of itself is going to destroy your confidence. There's nothing that's going to destroy your confidence more than knowing what you need to do and not doing it. Because every single day that goes by, guess what you lose? You lose confidence in yourself. You lose trust in yourself because you already figured out what to do, but you're letting the day pass you by. So you got to snap out of that mode if you've been there on any level. And all of us at some point, time does go by, but like we got to snap out of it and get to work and start to make things happen if we're serious about why it is that we're even in this industry in the first place. And I also want you to understand that, ultimately, if you look at what you want to get out of being in this business, whether it's a certain kind of income level or freedom of your own time and schedule, you're only going to get that result you're after if the correct inputs go into the equation. actions. So we're in a spot where like we are going to get paid in direct proportion to the value we bring to the marketplace. So the inputs you put in are going to translate into the outputs you get out. So if the outputs you've been getting up to this point aren't quite what you want them to be, it's quite simply because you haven't put in the required ingredients to get that desired result. So if there's somewhere you want to be, like say there's someone you look up to, they're a multiple six-figure earner, you see them selling homes every month, you see them making this impact in your local area, you see them doing cool things for them and their family. The crazy thing about that not everyone realizes is that if you took the same actions that they took, you would have the same result. So, it's kind of assessing what inputs are going in, because I think a lot of people, they just don't realize what you actually have to put in to get something significant out, because there's so many people I see, they're just not making the contacts. Like the amount of contacts they're making, they think they want to do something big in this industry, but they're not even speaking to enough people for that to even be in the realm of possibility, like even close. But there's other people, they're just putting the reps in and they're making the contacts, and they're making things happen because they're doing not what they feel like or not what they think, but they're literally doing what it takes, whatever it takes. And so you want to start to build a habit. If you want to not be an imposter in your own life, you want to start to keep the promises you make to yourself and make a plan and then execute the plan every single day. Identify what the next set of actions are that you need to take going into tomorrow. What are the 5 most critical things you got to do, most critical tasks that are going to move the needle forward in your personal and professional life? What activities do you need to do? What contacts do you need to make? How many contacts do you need to make? And then you execute that game plan and you go out there and make it happen. Nothing will build confidence for you like making a plan with a few key action items for the day that for a fact will move the needle if you do it, and then actually doing it. And then like clockwork, rinse and repeat that every single day. Don't overcomplicate it. Start by executing on the basics. I guarantee a big part of why you've lacked confidence up to this point and why you feel like an imposter is probably because you're not executing on the basics, but the more you do, like you're going to start to build up momentum, and you're going to start to build up belief that you can set a plan into place and that you can execute the plan and actually make it happen. And if you do that, you're going to start to train your mind that you can literally do whatever it is you envision and think about, and that you can create a plan and then you can put it into motion to make it the reality of your life. It just takes time, and doing that consistently and repeatedly time and time again, and making sure that your time is spent on productive actions that are actually going to have the opportunity to move your needle for you in your business. So, and a lot of times, just to be clear, you're not going to feel like it, but as you're getting things off the ground, more often than not, you're gonna have to act your way into a feeling before you feel your way into an action. You're just not gonna feel your way into an action. More like if you're depending on that, more often than not, your feelings are gonna dictate that you do nothing and that you just stay stuck where you're at. So more often than not, you just gotta kind of force yourself to go before you're ready to do so, or before you really feel like it. So put yourself in that mode, and that's honestly the discipline it's gonna take to build something big in real estate. I mean, at this point, honestly, I don't make a lot of videos for newly licensed real estate agents. To be transparent, honestly, it's because it wears me out. I've found that it's easier to help someone already closing deals double their business than it is to help a newly licensed agent get their business off the ground. And it's because too many people have the wrong mindset and they're just not willing to do what it takes to build something. So I made this video for those of you out there who that's not the case with, who you are willing to put the work in and do what it takes and take ownership of your own life. I believe in those of you who really resonate with that. And with that in mind, if there's anything I can do to help you out, subscribe to the channel and connect with me if there's anything I can do to help you out. And maybe if you feel like there's a missing element of what I shared, maybe you feel like you've got it all down, but the missing link is that you just don't have something bigger you're a part of that's helping you, really have that extra thing to leverage, as far as the track record experience. If that's what you're lacking, connect with me, because I might be able to bring that part to the table, and maybe you bring something, to what I've already got going as well in that regard. But you got to have something bigger than yourself to leverage when you don't have that experience built up yourself. It's gonna get you a lot further faster if you had it than if you didn't. So connect with me if you you got, if there's any added value I can bring. But otherwise, stay tuned on the channel. You're not gonna wanna miss what I've got coming down the pipeline, especially if you're building your production. I've got some things coming up that are gonna help you to level up if you're implementing it the same way that me and partners of mine are. So subscribe, and until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.